Good morning, friends. I welcome you all for the Reliability Engineering Training Program. So, the Reliability Engineering Training Program organized by IMPMA for the benefit of various industrial people, and it has been designed to have a 3 day session. But as the flexibility, it can be extended to 5 days with some half-a-day sessions each day. So the content of this program is definitely going to be a helpful in terms of understanding what is reliability and how to apply some of the good tools and techniques which is being practiced by the reliability engineers. So we are going to cover some of these very important tools and techniques as well as the methodologies and live data analysis, which will enable the users or the participants to understand more clearly the live data of their candidate parts, and they will be able to use the tools very effectively, and even the prediction of the reliability in the first level can be easily achieved. So what are the topics which we are going to cover in this program? Okay. First, we will be discussing about what is reliability. Here, the reliability includes the other characteristics. For example, reliability is closely linked with the maintainability to understand the availability. So reliability, availability, maintainability, all the three are interlinked very closely. So if you are able to understand what is reliability and how the reliability can be calculated or estimated based on the parameters, we can correlate very easily for the maintainability also, because maintainability is also a probability similar to reliability. Once we are very clear about the reliability and the maintainability and the methodology for calculation on the mathematics part, then combining the reliability and maintainability, will be able to get availability also. Then safety. Safety is nothing but functional safety, which is useful for the electrical electronic equipment, or including some of the mechanical elements. Nowadays, individual domains, they have their own functional safety standards evolved. For example, in automotive domain, it is ISO 26262. So we will be understanding about the fault tree analysis, a methodology which is used as safety integrity levels calculations point of view. The recommended practice is the fault tree analysis for the higher SIL levels, the safety integrity levels. So we are going to revisit on the FMECA or FMEA and fault tree analysis during this course. Okay. So the introduction to reliability, then we are going to understand what is statistics, what is probability. So the difference between the different statistical models. So if you're going to capture some of the failure data, how to represent them, and from the statistical point of view, how to create histograms, and from the histogram, how we are going to derive the various functions, empirical functions, functions like the failure probability and the success probability, that is reliability, and hazard rate functions. So all those things we are going to learn from the statistics point of view. And the probability, definitely the core of the reliability, availability, maintainability, all the three, they are probabilities. So we need to understand in depth on probability, including the probability distributions. That is what we are going to learn. So various distributions we are going to discuss in detail, including the mathematical models for each of these distributions. For example, exponential distributions, predominantly ruling the electrical electronics equipments and subsystem manufacturers, and variable on the electromechanical and mechanical engineering, and the normal and log normal we'll be discussing for any of the bilateral manufacturing processes, and some of the calculations which we need to expect from the standard normal distributions, because all the normal distributions will not be able to take the direct values from the mathematical model. So we need to standardize or transform the normal distribution to a standard normal distribution, and how to refer to the methodology for getting the standard normal curve, and from there how to understand about the Z values, from the Z values how to go for the reliability calculations and reliability calculations. So those important aspects about the probability and probability distributions we are going to learn. Then I'm going to teach you about the reliability prediction. The prediction here means by already proven methods or procedures, we are going to introduce the mechanical as well as electrical electronic equipments predictions. So NSWC is a standard which is being used for the mechanical, that is non-electronic parts, and it has been derived with a lot of efforts and the testing, physical testing, and it has been available for free to download, free to use, and free to distribute. So I will send this NSWC standard, I'll share it with you. So you will be able to use this as a guide and refer the standard, and will be able to predict the reliability values even before the prototype is being made. So similar to this NSWC, Mill Handbook 217 is also a free to download, free to distribute, and free to use standard available. I'll be able to give you the link for downloading this, which is available from the internet, so that you will be able to do some exercises. I'm going to teach you how to do the prediction for both electrical electronics, because most of the subsystems, electrical electronic subsystems, can also have mechanical elements. For example, that can be enclosures, or it can be some support structures. Then also some mechanisms which may be used in the overall assembly. So the person who is going to be involved in prediction of the entire system or a subsystem need to understand both the methodologies, both the electrical electronics as well as the mechanical systems, how to predict it. Okay, so we are going to learn that also. Then it is important for us to understand about the block diagram and incorporate the reliability values or the failure rates to create the model of our importance. Either it can be a series parallel mixed model, or M out of N kind of combinations. So we must know how to calculate reliability for the system, and after the calculation of the reliability for the system, then we will be able to compare with our requirement. The requirement may be set by our customers. They can give a target value. So whether we are able to reach to the target value or achieve the target value. If we are not able to, then how to improve the reliability, all those things we are going to discuss. And if we are able to allocate the reliability values, then we will be able to optimize the reliability values for the individual blocks. So we are going to learn in detail about the models, different models, and how to do some calculations on the reliability. Then we are going to understand a little more further on the techniques for the failure modes, effects, and criticality analysis, and the fault tree analysis. Both are a good technique, but they are opposite in terms of the approach. Like FMECA is a inductive logic, but FTA is a deductive logic. Deductive logic from the top down, but FMECA is a bottom-up approach. So both we are going to learn, and we can understand about the differences also. Okay. Then, of course, the prediction is not sufficient, and even the test data is not going to be sufficient. But unless we are going to apply the test data and plot them in terms of the probability plotting. So from the probability plotting, we will be able to estimate the parameters. Definitely, it's a Weibull analysis. So we are going to estimate the Weibull mathematical models parameters. There are two parameters in the Weibull analysis. So eta and beta, they are scale parameters and the shape parameters. Don't worry, we are going to have in detail study on this methodology. This is called as a live data analysis. Okay. So once we are ready with the live data analysis, then we are actually have the correct estimation of this parameter. Then we will be able to use it in the mathematical model and get reliability values for the different time frame. We are going to spend some time, quality time, and we are going to do some exercises. I'm going to teach you the tricks here, methodologies, how to use the median rank. There are different ways in using the median rank for getting the probability of failures for the plotting. Then from there, we'll be able to understand more clearly. Then, of course, as a prerequisite, you can identify some of your regular day-to-day project. So if it is shareable with me, you can share it with me, and you can discuss for any of the such topics which we are covering to demonstrate that you have learned and you understood the concepts what we discussed over this course. If you are not able to share the project, probably we can say take some dummy project and we will be able to proceed. Okay. So first, let us understand what is reliability. If you have any questions, you can just stop me wherever you want, and we can have interactive session so that it is easy for us to proceed after the clear understanding of each of these topics which we are going to discuss. So the first topic what we are going to have is a clear understanding about what is reliability and what is it made up of. Okay. So the fundamental understanding. So what is it made up of? Reliability is made up of these six elements. So what are they? It is linked with the mission time, because what is mission time here? The mission time is a time which we are going to set it. So this is represented as small d here in the mathematical modeling. So wherever the customer requires a particular specific reliability target to be achieved for a certain period of time, or a certain target time, that target time is called as the mission time. Okay. So that will vary again. So probably you may work for reliability calculation based on warranty. Warranty is a period. So it may be number of cycles or kilometers, if it is an automotive, or it can be the hours, working hours. Probably some of the items may be working continuously. Some of them may be working sparingly in a day, or sparingly in a week, or sparingly in a month. So according to that, what is the overall expected life for a particular period? That period may be limited by various aspects. One of the aspects is warranty. Another aspect may be a specific period of time. For example, the customer may be asking you, what is the beaten life? The beaten life here means what is the probability of a 90% success? At what period of time this 90% of success is expected? That is what. So that time is what we are going to understand. And suppose we say 3 years is the beaten life, means 3 years is the mission time. In the 3 years mission time, we are expected to demonstrate 90% reliability. Okay, so please remember that. So mission time is linked with the reliability. Without the mission time, if you state some reliability value, it doesn't make any sense. For example, if I say my equipment is demonstrating 90% reliability, you should ask internally or yourself, at what time it demonstrates. Very important. Without the time, it doesn't make any sense. Okay. Then, as we know, it is a probability. The whatever we are going to state here as a reliability value, it is a probability. So the probability can have the minimum value of 0, the maximum value of 1. 1 is 100%. So it can be of any such percentage between 0 and 1, and which we can be linked with the time with some confidence. Okay, so that is what the mission time, probability, and statistics is all about. So where we are going to declare there is something called RC value. So what is this RC value? What is this RC value? RC value is reliability with the confidence. For example, if I say it is 95% with 70% confidence. So this is a confidence value and this is the reliability value. Okay. At what time? RC value at what time? At 2 years. That means in 2 years, we can expect 95% reliability of that particular item or a subsystem or a system for which we did an analysis and we found out, and we are going to declare it as an RC value with the confidence. So these understandings are coming from this mix of 1 and 2, that is mission time and the probability and the statistics. Right? Because the data and data points what we are going to get is from the samples which is drawn from the population for which we want to draw conclusion. Right? Is it not? So whatever the sample sets we are going to take from the population and we are going to deal with the samples, then the data pertaining to the samples are nothing but statistics. So the reliability, what is it made of? It made of these two important aspects. One is mission time, another is probability and statistics. Then apart from that, where exactly the reliability is applicable? Is it applicable only for the quality period or reliability period or wear out period or design period? The entire life cycle of the product, it is valid. That means in the bathtub curve of any of the candidate part, you can see the initial portion or the burning period or the infant period of your system where you are developing the product is mainly ruled by the quality related problems. The quality related problems can be easily identified and can be addressed by some inspection methodologies. A good inspection quality control method can be able to pinpoint the problems and you will be able to eliminate them. But in the useful life, no longer the quality related problems are going to be coming. So instead of that, there will be hidden defects and random failures are going to be coming as the failures. Clear understanding about this is going to be a little tricky and a lot of work we need to carry out. Like stress screening is very important aspect to understand about this reliability related problems. Then of course, after it reaches certain period in its life, definitely it is going to deteriorate due to the aging, and these wear out related problems are going to be predominate a particular kind of reliability loss. So those wear out related problems also need to be understood and need to be avoided by proper reliability centered maintenance methods or some parts replacement or maintaining the parts according to the requirement. Then throughout the entire life cycle, probably there are some failures due to the design faults or design flaws. It can happen. So how to handle that? It's definitely because the design engineer are working with some knowledge on allocating the design margin in terms of derating for the electrical electronics or the factor of safety for the mechanical engineering. They will be able to take care of these design related problems. So where exactly this reliability is coming in, the reliability is in the entire life cycle and it's applicable for all the departments, right from the conceptualization, design, R&D, then quality control, then manufacturing, production, then packaging, then shipping and in the hands of the customer and field returns for everywhere, all departments. Then at what conditions these reliabilities are stated or understood is of three important aspects in terms of the stresses: the environmental, operational, and functional. Here, the environmental means not only the real environmental conditions, also all the other conditions where the equipment is going to be useful and it's going to be utilized. But operational is to deal with what type of operations it is going to perform in terms of whether it is in switched on condition, switched off condition, or standby mode, or power off mode, something like that. This is an operational. So there can be an equipment or a subsystem which will be switched off. And only for a few hours it will be switched on, like a motor. You want to pump the water from the sump to the overhead tank. You are going to operate the motor in a half an hour or 1 hour in a day. Probably next day you will be using it again, or after 2 days you'll be using it. Till the time it's not being used. So if you take a 24-hour cycle, the operational loads are going to come in only for a specific period of time. But if you look at the modem, which we are using in our home for the internet connection, it is switched on and it is on only. You are not switching it off unless you want to have some reset done. So what is the operational condition of the modem? Modem is 24/7. It is switched on. So there is no off. There is no standby or something like that. Then what is a function? There may be different type of functions. So each of the function can draw some kind of battery power, or it will induce some kind of a load to the equipments. So this is again the functional stresses. So either the environmental, that is one of the influencing factor, or operational or the functional, these kind of stresses we need to understand, and we need to state at this functional, at this operational, at this environmental condition only the stated reliability is valid. That means if you say RC value 95%, 70% at 2 years is nothing but at what environment conditions. That means it is valid and it has been tested and proven to demonstrate 95% reliability with 70% confidence for 2 years period, provided that specific environment condition, for example, minus 10 degree to 45 degree centigrade is the temperature, then some humidity, then some vibration conditions, where exactly it is being fitted, whether it is fitted to an equipment, that equipment is mobile, something like that. Then what are the operational conditions? Provided while you are purchasing the equipment or selling the equipment, you state that this equipment should not be used more than 15 hours in a day, 12 hours a day, or 10 hours a day. Then you can expect in 2 years a 95% something like that. And functions. At what functions, how much time you need to use? For example, there is a very stressful function for the equipment, and that stressful function used to be applied to the equipment only for a few minutes in a day or few hours in a day. It doesn't mean that all 24 hours you will be using it in function and you expect the 95% reliability. Not like that. So the reliability, when we state, and it is made up of at what conditions, environmental, operational, functional, is very important. Then the intended function. The intended function is the function for which the particular equipment is being used, and this function can have the failure which can be noted as the potential to a functional failure, which we call it as the PF interval, potential to a functional failure. So that functional failure can start much early also. That much early functional failure is called as a potential failure. So in reliability, even that potential failure is considered as a failure, and we need to start acting on understanding that. So what are the 6 important points? Mission time, probability and statistics, entire life cycle, all the departments, and what conditions, the 3 important unique potential stresses, then the intended function. That is what is written here as the definition of reliability. Reliability can be described as a discipline related to all the departments. You can say design, development, test, manufacturing of an item, so that it successfully performs a certain task. What is the meaning of the certain task? Certain task means the function, intended function, performs a intended function under specified conditions. What are these conditions mean here? The conditions are the 3 unique potential stresses what we are discussing. Earlier we discussed about the environmental conditions, then the functional conditions, the operational conditions, the specified conditions for a certain length of time or number of cycles. This is the mission time with a specified probability. Understood? So this is described with the help of the exponential density function. Here is one of the function which is used predominantly for the understanding of the failures, and also to find out the failure probabilities from the failure data and get the success probability, that is nothing but the reliability for the electrical electronic equipments. So as we see, this is the curve. The curve is made up of a function. Okay. So what is the function? Let me take a color. So this is the curve. So this curve is made up of f of t equal to lambda multiplied with e power minus lambda t. So this is a function. Okay, so how this function is made? This function is made from the failure points, failure data. How do you get the failure data? You take the samples from the population. To understand about the population, we are taking samples, right? So we are drawing samples from the population. To that population, I want to understand what is the reliability or draw conclusion from the analysis, whatever we are going to do. Okay, so there are samples drawn. These samples are put into a specific stress levels and tested for a period of time, and we started accumulating failures. So if we are not able to get the failure straight away, we are going to increase the stress levels or increase the duty cycle, and we are going to simulate the test for failures or make the systems fail. And after the failure times are noted, we are going to get this curve, which is made up of a failure rate function model. So lambda is a failure rate. What is a failure rate? Failure rate is number of failures per hour, number of failures per million hour, number of failures per billion hour, like that. Okay, so lambda is the failure rate.